Listen, bro, I missed the whole meeting yesterday. Got lucky that it was all blown
Which,
up. And then today I remembered the meeting. I told you I got a new podcast.
Ben's gonna be here today.
It ain't a podcast. It's not a podcast. It's some kind of. All I'm gonna say, I'm gonna be a storyteller.
You told me about that. Like you're like the narrator for some folks.
I'm the narrator of the genius dudes. I got 4 geniuses that have come up with this awesome ass idea, and I'm the narrator. So I'm like, hey, I'm in. I mean, I'll narrate.
Man, like whatever. Now, are they doing like a YouTube channel, or are they just doing it like on the side?
No. It's gonna be a full production.
I gotcha. Hey, what's up, Ben? How you doing?
Yeah, but
can't hear you. Oh, he's mute.
We can't hear Ben Pappas. You muted, Ben.
Oh, there you go.
No, that wasn't me.
You're good. There you go.
That wasn't me.
Just look at fucking Ben Pappas with technology banging, bro.
Everything.
You guys are roping me in, man. I'm getting in there.
It's very addictive too. Like once you start, because it's like any other skill that we learn in the military. Like I just got off the phone 100%. With Jameson, and he and I were talking about a few things here and there. And he was like, "Dude,
that guy's amazing.
His just hit amazing. 1 million." Which shout out to Jameson because he does watch this from time to time. So shout out to him. He just hit 1 million, and he was giving us, his 2 cents as far as how to do certain things. And I was telling him, I was like, I'm starting to figure it out, right? It's like, again, anything else we do within our field.
Yeah.
It's like, now I'm realizing as soon as I post, I got to go back and tweak the title a little bit. I got to mess with the thumbnails. Because what I was doing at first is I would just post and then just let it be. So now there's like, yes.
Yeah. That first 15, 30 minutes, I'll be changing the title and the thumbnail. Hey,
Jake's taught me a lot of that stuff early on. He's been, telling me about it, but obviously I didn't put it into good practice until now. Now.
So I was in DR, right? And so I went down there and I took my voice recorder and my mic and I was fired up. I'm like, shoot all this game school content, right? Man, I shot for first of all, I shot for 30 minutes, didn't hit record, so then I had to come back. But I was just sitting there by myself, so
I've done that too.
Absolutely, brother. So I record it all, right?
Yeah.
And I get all my stuff. I get it into CapCut to cut up. And I'm like, oh my God, this is the worst audio in the history of mankind. I shot the whole masterclass on it. The whole masterclass is the same audio, but now you roll in Shure 7B, equalizer, Focusrite 2i2, and you're like, I can't put this on
I got
channel.
Standards now.
Like, it sounded like I was underneath the train, bruh. Hello. I was like, oh my God.
100%.
But
100%.
yeah, I spent like an hour just talking to him about all this stuff. And it's like, I was like, man, there's a science to this shit. Like, I thought it was just you get on here and then you talk some craziness and you put it on there and hope it does good. But it's like, there's like a fucking art to it. And I'm like, holy fuck. There's a whole
100%. A couple tweaks on a short here and there makes all the difference in the world.
Absolutely. And I've been tweaking away, man, because I'm like, because it got to the point where like I hit 1,000 and my channel hit a wall because I had an influx of the wrong type of people in. So now it's like I have to course correct to where my original audience could start seeing my stuff, right? It's almost like, man, I wish this video didn't go viral because now I have a lot of people showing up and they're not my core audience. So now I have to undo the damage, not necessarily get rid of all those, newer people, but fine tune and adjust to where I'm making content for the old people and still the new people. And it's like, fuck, man. There's a science that goes into it. Yeah,
Nate's at 150. Nate's at 150.
Hey,
I just followed this girl who does 6-minute videos. I'll see if I can find it, but I should have shared it with you guys. It was very interesting what she was doing. It literally the first 15 seconds of her video are all the same. Not the same content, but the same formula. Like, you know how Jamerson has noun, super action word, or adverb, noun? Like the same kind of thing. But I watched 15 of her videos yesterday. She got 9 million followers. She's 18. obviously we know she's making $9 million to get you $1 million a month.
That's fucking
yeah, $1 million a month. So
Jameson said it best. He was like, dude, once I realized that there's money to be made from this stuff, I was like, that's when I took it super seriously. I was like, yeah, I need to do the same.
Exactly. How do you guys feel about ChatGPT helping out for titles and for
that's all I use.
and
that's literally all I use with the right prompt.
That's it.
Like I'll tell it to, for example, like I'll tell it, ChatGPT, I want you to act as Jameson's Travels, and
right, yeah, act like a viral YouTube content creator,
like a bunch of like titles for me to choose from. Like it'll give me 10, and I'll tell it, hey, go ahead and rack and stack these for something that's gonna catch or that's gonna work best with my audience, and they'll give it to me. And now you can do it for thumbnails too.
And the other thing I've been doing on ChatGPT is I go in and I sort my content by views, and then I cut all those titles out and I load them back into ChatGPT and say, hey, these 20 titles are crushing it for me. Like use this as the background for all future titles.
And it has a memory and it does that. That's and great, it's wild. Man. It's
that's great.
And now the new hack is, so I'll go see what content my guys are consuming. So for example, like me, Jake, Jameson, like we're all on the same like viewership thread, right? Along with Mike Glover and a couple of other guys. So I just tell it, hey, go look at these guys' channels and help me fill the gaps. And it'll just give me everything I need.
Fuck. Can you hear me?
There you go, Nate. You in.
I'm here.
In, Nate. Hey.
And name only, right? That's what you said.
No, it's okay. Listen. It's okay. We all know that
camera's backwards. Shit.
Anybody that wears no, it's right. We can read it, Nate. It's right. We can read it. It's just backwards to you.
Yeah, it's gonna show up backwards for you.
Yeah. Nate. I'm just gonna tell you, from the two black guys on this channel, only people that wear big dick shirts are little dick guys. So just letting you know.
You know what?
That's fine. Wait, Nate. I got one for you.
Fine.
I got one. You know what big dick dudes do?
What's that? I don't.
They punch a hole in a Magnum condom and wear it around their neck at festivals. Yep. That's a straight 90s hack right there, brother. Straight 90s. Rolling through the joint with it on.
And just when all of you thought when you were watching, you're like, how much more can we get from this channel? Well,
dude,
here it is.
I am not walking around with a condom hanging around my neck. Nah, I'm good. No.
Hey, I'm just telling you. Hey, Jay, that's level 5 game. We got game school going on. That's level 5.
I guess I'm staying at level 3 and 4 because I'm not doing that shit.
This, this
is
chapter 2 game school. One of the examples at the end of the chapter. Now, before you move on to chapter 3, go accomplish this ordeal.
What's the wildest thing you guys haven't done so far, Jake?
No. So we haven't even started yet. We're literally just getting everything together. But it always starts the same. So I went through game school at prep school with 2 South Carolina dudes. Shout out to Mark Williamson and Reggie Williams. Okay. They slapped the shit out of me. It was like, everybody loves you, but you don't know how to talk to anybody. We're going to game school. So we always start the same, man. 10 females a week. That's it.
Like Reggie?
Reggie. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Reggie
cool.
Williams. Yeah,
that's really
absolutely.
Cool, yeah.
So meet 10 women a week. And that's it. Just come back every Monday. Monday is report day. Put your 10 names in the chat, and then as that gets easier, then we go, all right, now we got 10 women. Okay, now we need 10 phone numbers, right? Which is a little bit harder, or 5 phone numbers. And what are some of your comebacks to when they say, well, I don't give my phone number to somebody? Okay, cool. You ain't worth it then, right? Like attack their worth when they won't give you their phone number, right? There's 5 or 6 things you can say there to be like, okay, cool. I didn't want your phone number anyway, or well, I can see that there's not a lot of depth to you, right? You're gonna throw a jab straight in their face, and then if they don't give you your phone number, you just turn and walk away. And a lot of times they will follow you and say, "Hey, excuse me, wait a minute, I'm sorry," right?
What's that old one? What's that old one that's like, would you like to dance? They say, what? No. Oh, no, I said you look fat in those pants, So the music's going. You got him right there.
Nate, did your dad put you through this? Because he's an old school GB. So how did you learn what Jake is talking about? Or did you just have to go out there in the wild and figure it out?
Well, I mean, when I was young, I used to actually be really good looking, man, before I lost my hair. So I didn't really have to try that hard. I got lucky with being a little bit blessed there.
Hang on. Nate, you and I grew up in the exact same place. Okay.
But also, I was also a nightclub DJ, right? Which the difficulty of getting women for there is literally like, what I would do is I'd take my iPhone, I would open up on the open contacts list and just hand it to girls in the DJ booth. And then turn back around and get to DJing, and then they would just hand me back my phone with all their contact information in, and then that was all it took. Like no words, no nothing. Just
how old were you?
Just a position.
How old were you?
I was 20, 21, 22 at the time.
Okay, because I'm talking about like for me, like I want somebody with game at like 16, 17, 18. Because I think once you get
I didn't develop it until I was like in the nightclub scene. I didn't I was like as a high school dude, I was not the guy that was like I'm picking up chicks left and right at all.
I was the same dude, bruh. I was just, that's why I was asking.
It took me into college until I found my groove. Yeah, for sure.
So I'm gonna give Jay some props here, okay? Shout out to Ton Johnson. Okay, so Ton Johnson's dad was in the military. Ton Johnson came in as an 8th grader, okay, from the Bronx. Oh, man. little fat Filipino kid, okay? Always had shit in the corner of his mouth, like sunflower seeds stuck there, just fucking raggedy, okay? When I tell you in the next 2 years, that dude murdered my whole town. I'm talking, he lived one house behind me, and I would be like, God damn, Christy Cotan's going in damn Ton Johnson's house. Holy shit. Tiffany Palmer is going in Ton Johnson's house. Like, holy stuff. When I tell you, everybody wanted to fight him, but he was like 5'4", like 155. I was gonna say,
Jake, my best friend, growing up through high school and into college and everything, 5'6", and that dude slayed everybody, dude. I had nobody had any idea how he did it, but he could talk though, man. That dude. He was from
the Bronx, man. Them dudes from New York roll into a little quiet town in Steilacoom, Washington. They're like,
well, that's because New York is so big, and there's there's just no not necessarily parenting, but there's no supervising going on. Because for me, like, my high school was like 2 hours away. Like, I had to get on the bus to the train. And throughout the entire time, I'm mingling with people along the way. And my high school was like 5,000 plus kids. You know what I mean? And you don't have a choice but to mingle and figure out how to, navigate that scene. And I'm sure it was the same with upstate. Well, no, upstate New York might have been different, right, Ben?
Yeah, I mean, I think probably a little bit, but there's some similarities for sure, no doubt about it. I had a friend like the one you're talking about, and just like crazy game at a young age all the time, and you're just like, look at this dude, like, seriously, and I mean, it makes a big difference.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to
makes a big
difference. Now, my son is 7, and I think everybody goes through this. Like, he's shy, like he gets nervous around like bigger kids. So now whenever I take him to school, I make him say, hi to everybody as we're walking through the parking lot. It's almost like desensitizing them to like, hey, like, it's okay. Like, I'm not going to wait till you're 14, 15. And now you got the pimples going and your testosterone is raging and you're looking at doing other things. And now you're scared because you don't know how to do it. So I'm like, you know what? Let me get this out of your system now, right? Let me start, like, not necessarily embarrass you like Jake does to his son, but at least, get you talking to people and get you out there.
Right.
Hey, I'm going to tell you, don't make my son talk to no kids his age. Put a 23-year-old engineer from Duke in front of him, babe, carrying his luggage through the airport. I'm like, what? We go in the bathroom, take a piss. I say, hey, Zimmy, man, who's that lady you got? He's like, oh, she's an engineer from Duke. She's pretty cool. Okay, cool. Yeah, she's waiting on me outside the bathroom. I come outside the bathroom. She's standing there waiting on him. I just said, shit. All right, well, cool. Some point your age will catch up to the capabilities. But,
absolutely.
Whatever. Anyway, Game school, baby. It's coming over here on the Champions for Life Discord. It's coming. Just telling y'all. All y'all having troubles. Hey, the other big thing we got in game school is West Coast Vikings, man, for vets that are having problems reintegrating or finding their worth. So we're breaking that out too, man. 3 combat tour, not Army Ranger, just an Army infantry dude from Spokane, Washington. Had incredible success over the last couple of years, just reintegrating in society.
Now, Jake, do you guys have a program for females also, because they also need help too?
So I've been thinking about that. I don't have a program for females. I guess if I find a female that can run it, then I probably will start one. But I'm gonna tell you. So Jamerson got me making this video, and I'm just gonna tell you, like, if I can't stop laughing in a video, I'm like, oh God, this is gonna be a problem, right? So you guys have seen all the fine ass women on TikTok, right, in uniform. So Jamerson's like, yo, just go through there.
I'm making one of those too.
And I'm like, yeah, like, so I told, I want to just tell all the women out there, like, the number one thing you can do is get off social media and stop trying to compete with people that you don't have no business competing with. You ain't got to compete against the whole world on Instagram. You just need to be a good person in your own town and you'll find somebody good. But if you try to compete, like that's probably my biggest
fake,
thing,
dude. Like, that's the thing they don't realize. It's all fucking fake on Instagram anyway, with filters and fucking plastic surgery and everything. Like, there's no point to try.
It's out of control.
Then, like, at the end of the day, dudes really don't give a shit about that type of stuff, man. Like, we really don't. Like, there's some guys that are super vain like that, but the majority of guys I know, like, that type of stuff, really, they're kind of almost a turn off, man, if it's too much of it.
You know what, some of the craziest stuff now today is that they have guys doing it. Guys are doing it more and more now. Plastic surgeons have on their pages, they show before and after.
Yeah.
And you don't even know who you're with anymore. You know what I mean? It's like, this guy looked like this, but then all of a sudden, now they look like they're, a Disney prince or something. And everything's sculpted. They do total face makeover, all this stuff like that. We were laughing the other day talking about this. And, you go with someone, you end up having kids and you're wondering why your kids look a certain way. That's because that person doesn't
Are my kids ugly?
I didn't want to say it, but yeah, why you got these, like, what, did something happen? Yeah, something happened. Both of y'all went to the plastic surgeon and changed who you are. So you didn't even know.
So I was just in the Dominican Republic, right? Let me tell you, lips this big. That's how big the upper lip was, okay? Butts so big they couldn't go through the door. They hitting both sides of a 36-inch door. And
but
breasts.
Real people, though.
Real people, like straight cartoon figures, bro. I was like, God damn.
Yeah.
And then my boy told me they make more than lawyers and doctors down there, right? They all working for that money in Sosua, but I was just like, man, this is a third world country. I'm never coming back, and I don't need cartoon characters. Like, they all were drawn with cartoon with crayons. Like,
no, it's naughty.
It's
naughty.
Yeah, it was crazy.
But I'm not envious of women on that regard, man. Like, everybody thinks women have it so easy, right? Like, oh, you just can fucking marry into something or date rich dudes. You know how much easier it is for dudes to be attractive to the opposite sex? You could be an ugly fucking dude. If you are fucking jacked, successful, in a fucking 8-pack, you are going to be an extremely attractive dude. Even if your face is fucking ugly.
Andrew Tate would take some, would
look at Andrew Tate. That's an ugly motherfucker,
But
dude.
Andrew Tate would say the opposite.
He's got no chin. He's bald as fuck. But he's tall, jacked, super successful. And
Andrew Tate would
That's
say the
all it
opposite.
takes.
He would say how hard that men have to work to get noticed compared to the opposite.
You have to work hard.
I'm not an advocate of his, but I have a teenage son that's gonna be out all the time. Like, who is this guy? Yelling and screaming all the time. He'd be watching.
You have to work hard to build the physique and build the success. But I mean, like, you don't have to inject shit. You don't have to fix your fucking face. You don't got to pay $100,000 for fucking new teeth and ass and
Let's
tits.
See if we
like,
get
all you got to do is
we'll
go
have
to the
this
gym.
discussion. Ask him. He'll
here's what I'm gonna say, Ben.
If we get big enough, we could get him on here.
It would be good for us, not good for him.
We'd be the beneficiaries of that for sure.
As the dude coaching game school, I'm gonna be the first one to tell you. If you have 2 women with you, you can get all the women you want in the world.
Dude.
It's that hypergamy.
That's the truth.
Hypergamy.
Okay? So, listen, I'm telling you right now, the most craziest time in my life, 24 years old, ranking women 1 to 15, okay? And meeting a new woman and say, hey, listen, I rank all my women. Right now, you enter the queue at 15. You have 1 week to get out of the bottom 5. What?
Oh
yeah. You got 1 week. Like, if you can't get out of the bottom 5, then you're gone.
Wait.
It would be crazy. It would be crazy how hard they would fight to stay. Like, I had a girl who was terrible. Okay. She came to me at day 6. She said, I know I only have 1 more day. I really love you. I want to stay in the top. I want to get in the top 10. I said, bring 2 of your girlfriends over here. We're going to have a night of fun.
She's
like, okay.
There you go, folks.
Let
this be a lesson to your daughter. Keep them away from Jake's, from Jake's kids.
No, listen. Wait a minute. We just talking about how to win. Okay?
Hey,
we're talking about how to win. Don't be mad.
I've got my own coaching membership. It's definitely different than game school.
That's a little bit different.
It's a little bit different. If you're not feeling that, please come on over and check it out. It's different. But
listen,
my man Jake is a good dude, and it's not. I know he's going to try and teach some real stuff. He'll definitely learn how to sell. You'll definitely learn how to sell. That's the spin I want to put on it for you. You're going to learn how to sell.
I want to say this. Okay, so there's 3 people on this channel. Okay, there's 3 average looking dudes, and then there's Ben Pappas. Okay, so if you want to take how to get laid advice from a Greek Adonis, then go ahead over to Ben's channel.
That's not what I talk about. That's not what I talk about.
I'm just telling you, all right?
That's not what we're doing.
Like, I'm winning with an 84 pickup truck, okay? Like, it don't matter. I'm winning.
All right, guys. So shout out to Aaron. He's out in Colorado doing some stuff right now. And again, audience, thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for supporting us on another Friday evening. Right? I know you guys kind of jumped on here while we were having this little conversations, but we do appreciate you guys. But this is actually a good spot to segment into our first article that we're going to cover. Right? So a doctor said couples can save their relationship by not uttering this one word. All right.
You're ranked 5 out of 10.
Yeah, that's pretty close to what you're about to hear.
No. Oh, man.
You're ranked 10 out of 10. You're right.
All right,
you're 10.
The doctor says couple can hurt their relationship by saying, why can't you be more like Ben? Why can't you be more like Jake? Why can't you be more like Nate? Right? This makes other people feel like they're not good enough. Right? And it causes sadness, and problems over the course of time. Right? Apparently,
wow,
that goes on in the United States, right? What do you guys thought? We'll start with you, Ben. We're gonna save Jake for last. We'll start with you, Ben.
Dude. I mean, I think so. So here are a few things, right? Here some of the things I do talk about, in my coaching membership too. But it's about relationship building, and things like that. But I think this goes for any type of relationship, but especially a romantic or intimate relationship, that when you criticize someone, okay, so in a romantic, intimate relationship, if you are critical and you're criticizing someone all the time, okay, this is a pathway to destruction of the relationship, right? And so what you're doing in the comparative is you're comparing your partner. Hope to God you're not comparing them to someone from the past, but even if, someone, a past relationship, but even if you're comparing to someone on TV, someone else here or there, I mean, this is a real problem, because you are criticizing them, you're shaming them, you're embarrassing them, you're showing them that they are not worthy. Okay. And so these touch on some of the deepest rooted fears we all have. One of the biggest fears we all have is not being good enough, right? And of the fear of being shamed and criticized. And if you do that, you're going to lose love. And so what you're doing when you do this, when you criticize them and you compare them to somebody else, you're connecting that surface criticism and comparison to one of the deepest rooted fears we all have. Okay. It's the fear of isolation, because you lose love, because you criticize them, you shame them, you show them they're not good enough. And that's what the big fear is. So you're going to drive a wedge in the relationship. Okay. And the next thing is also blocking. When you block someone, they make an advance to you. They make some type of advance or some type of, they often are olive branch, and they say, hey, how was your day? And you don't have time for that. Or you say, hey, do you want to watch a movie? They don't have time for that either. They block you. They turn on you. Okay. I don't have time for that. When you keep blocking and you criticize, you really are. You're on your way to destroying, frankly, any relationship, but especially a romantic, intimate relationship. And the thing I'll say this, why does it matter? Why is it important? You want to be the lone warrior monk? I got it. But here's the thing, okay? The quality of our lives is really determined by the quality of our relationships. And we're finding this out more and more and more. The deeper your relationships are, not just romantic relationships, but your family relationships, your friends, how lively your social life is in a positive, empowering way, the longer we live. Okay, this is really important. So, so I mean, I think it's a big thing, and I think you just can't do it. You got to hold back. I once heard a wise man philosopher say, if you want to show people how wise and intelligent you are, think of something stupid to say, and then don't say it. Okay, so you got to govern your mouth. What's coming out? It's not okay just express yourself on every single thing, and then you decide, well, the thought popped into my head, so I'm being authentic, and I'm gonna freaking slam this person and say, why can't you be more like so and so? Why can't you be like this? God, I wish I had that. Why can't you be able to do that? I'm just telling you, you're on your way out. Eventually, that's gonna wear away, and any person worth their salt, not just man, but any person worth their salt, is probably going to start looking for other options.
Absolutely.
Eventually.
Nate, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I mean, first things first, I don't think, all respect to this doctor, but you don't need a PhD to know that that's a dumb fucking thing to say to your partner, especially a woman. So if anybody out there saying that, I agree with Ben, you need to stop. And then next thing I'll say, and this is mostly for men, right? Because I can really come at it from being a man in a relationship. And I've been divorced before, right? I learned the lessons through fucking fire and tribulation when it comes to having a successful relationship. What I'll tell you is what I've learned, and is what actually has made my life way better, way more happy. All these different things is stop giving a fuck about what I feel emotionally as the man in the household. It's not, if I'm happy, if whatever my wife is doing, if it's making me upset, keep your fucking mouth shut. Even if she's wrong, I'm going to be the one to apologize. Why? Because I'd rather have a house full of harmony than to constantly put my partner down and make them feel insecure, things like that. Because it all reciprocates back onto you. I promise you doing that is going to make you less happy based off of the way your relationship goes. So for all you men out there, this is a really hard thing for you, probably in your, 18 to 30 and haven't realized this. Understand, you're not the main character of the story in your family, right? Your wife and your kids are, and you are there to do everything you can to facilitate their happiness. And I promise you, by extension of doing that, you will be 10 times more fulfilled and 10 times more happy just living your life that way. So that would be my stop judging what your partner's doing and ask yourself, what can I do to make her more secure or her more comfortable? And I promise you, the way she treats you in response is going to make you feel 10 times better about yourself. Dude, I bet you, right? So all that negativity, I promise you, it's a circular, you send it out and it's going to come right back to you.
Folks watching over man, I did not expect that to come out of Nate, but that's some good shit. That was pretty good.
Right.
Again, I can't say always that way.
There's a flip side. And there's a flip side. There's a flip side of that too. That after Jake goes and you guys go, we can talk on that. But the question will come up again because this is my space, right? Like dealing with whether it's leadership coaching, life coaching, executive stuff, business, all that stuff like that. But invariably, when I'm dealing with people, we come up on relationships, and one of the things is, what if I do all that, Nate, and they're not doing it back? Then you got a fundamental problem, because. There's a fundamental problem.
Yeah, and then you might need to realize that you're the wrong person.
Amen. So we can get into all that afterwards too, but 100%.
All right, I'm coming as a philosophical game school advisor. Okay, so early in my upbringing, I was cheap. I'm cheap. Okay, and so I got a house. I'm 22. I own a 3-bedroom house on a fire pond, a little lake. And I drove an 84 pickup truck that was crashed in the front right side. And if I took a babe to the movies, I wasn't buying shit for you. Okay. So I went on this date with this young lady. And she's like, hey, I want to buy a bunch of popcorn and soda. And I'm like, go ahead. I ain't buying that shit for you. And she got mad. Okay. And she came in the movies with me. We sat down. And as we were pulling up to my house, she's like, I'm not going to stop, so get out. I kid you not. She did not stop the car. The car was going 5 miles an hour. And I laughed because I knew who she was. I know how much money she made. I made 10 times more than she did, right? And I own a house, and she worried about some popcorn. So I got this a lot when I was younger. Why are you so cheap? Why don't you do this? Like, can you not act like this? Like, I know you have money, you own a house, like, and every time I'd be like, deuces, get out, right? Like, I'm not, that's one of those things where if you're attacking my self-worth, you're gone. Like, I'm not putting up with it in no relationships. I'm just not. And so I got it a lot early on. But you know what I found? Like, the woman I've been married to for 20 years, she ain't care if I bought her popcorn, right? Like, she didn't care. And she just as frugal as I am. And financial reasons are one of the number one causes of divorce. So I will go back to, like, when someone's telling you that type of stuff, they're not on your team. And that's probably one of the biggest tenets that we're working on in game school. You're not looking to find the woman you want. You're looking to find the woman that wants you. And that's a hard thing for guys to understand, because they see something and they're visual wanters. They want it, but that might be the absolute worst thing. And that's one of the takes I'm going to take in this video with all these fine ass military people. Like, if you knew what kind of train wrecks they had enlisted females, even the officer females, like, females in the military, 99% of the time are train wrecks. There's 1 out of 100 that's a great, great person. You know, they running from something in the military, much like the dudes are. I'm not saying it's. I don't know.
I ran into a lot of very capable female officers for sure.
I didn't say capable, Benny. Now I'm going to say this because I don't have my run in with a number of Marine females. Okay.
Well, I mean, but I'm saying my perspective is that that's not the case. So I'm just saying that.
Oh, I think female officers, you're in the clear. I think female NCOs is who you need to watch out for.
I don't know much about that. I know. But you did, dude. You did. Now I'm just making my rebuttal. I'm saying that there are a lot of capable
officers. Yeah, I am talking about socially.
Okay,
socially.
I don't know about that.
I have had some Marine Corps officers come out the closet with some shit, and you're like,
yeah, I think it's any walk. Probably any walk.
Yeah, I haven't had that experience. I didn't have that in my experience in my military career either. I mean, I didn't date any military officers, women, but most of the female officers in group were always pretty fucking squared away. The NCOs would be a real big fucking problem. Lower enlisted fucking women. Ooh, that's a real big fucking problem.
Yeah, I wasn't
a lot of the time.
Hey, Ben, look at Ben. Ben's throwing it out there. I wasn't around a lot of them.
No, I wasn't. I wasn't.
I was on a
no, I wasn't. I mean, the one I can think of right now, I can think that was that went on to do all kinds of amazing things afterwards. But like, you know, they were go-getters, man, real go-getters from what I saw.
So it's wild, Jake, because you mentioned that financial gains is like the biggest, or financial stability is the biggest reasons for divorce. The number one reason for people not getting divorced is a prenup, believe it or not, right? So going into a marriage with a prenup at hand, so everybody knows, you know, what they're bringing to the table and what they stand to gain if it ends, that actually helps marriages, believe it or not. It was all part of this study. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
So marriages that have a prenup do better?
Yes, those that have a prenup do a lot better. They actually stay married longer, sometimes not even get a divorce, because they know, hey, going in, this is what I'm bringing. If things don't work out, I don't stand to get anything for this. So they actually going in because they love each other, not so much because they can get something when they're back in.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense.
Well, I'll add in, I'll jump in there on that, is that here's the thing. Whether you like it or not, you've got a prenup. Whether you either create your own prenup, okay? But guess what?
Well, my wife just screamed from the other room, for you. Too late.
The state's got one for you. The state's got a prenup for you. So it's already there. If you either design your own or you got theirs. You got to decide which one do you want, because that motherfucker's going to come into action real quick. When those papers get filed, you'll be like, well, we don't have a prenup. Oh, no, yes, you do. And you get the divorce lawyers together. Next thing you know.
I like that you say that, because I always tell people, like on the military side, like I tell people all the time, hey, when you go into the military, if you plan on making it a career, you have to design your own career. You got to make the moves and get to the places you want.
100%.
Pretty similar to getting married, I guess. You either go with the one that the state has, or you design your own, or you just don't get a divorce.
or get divorced. I believe it's before 10 years. If you're divorced, if you're married for over 10 years, the military will give half your retirement.
That's the thing also. All right. So we have a couple of super chats, which we'll hit on right now, guys. The first one's going to be for you, Ben. Ben, what advice would you give to someone who has gone through a life-changing event and has been stuck with the past thoughts and memories of something that isn't there anymore? How do you transform?
Wow. Well, I'll tell you. So first of all, I'll just say this every time. Okay. Here's a basic structure I use. I use this with all of my clients. Okay. I use it with anybody I advise. I think it works for businesses as well. Business structure. It's strategy making. Okay. So the number one thing you need to do is get clear and focused about what you truly want now. You need to create a compelling, powerful vision for yourself. Don't edit yourself. Okay. Just take stock. Where are you right now? Okay. See where you're at. See the world as it is right now for you. Okay. Then see how it can be better for you. And then you got to really get clear and focused about what do you really want? And after that, you got to get a strategy made, find a way to get from where you are now to where you want to be. And usually that means, you're getting a coach, you're getting a mentor, something like that. And if it's not an actual coach or mentor, like, something like I do, or like, Jake does, then what you want to be doing is taking courses, getting with people that have done the things that you want to do before that. And then you got to take huge amounts of accurate and effective action. The only way to get out of that hole that you're in right now is through action. Okay. Massive action all the time. Focus on something that's a powerful, compelling vision for yourself. Because if you don't, you're going to spend your time looking behind you. Okay. Watching the rearview mirror. So getting those small tactical wins each and every day are going to create success momentum for you. And then what we need to do is really work on your mindset all at the same time. Okay. First of all, get clear and focused about what you want. Next of all, get that strategy, that blueprint set, get a coach, get a mentor to guide you, all those things. Start taking friggin' action where you are right now. Start taking action. Do one thing a day, minimum, one thing a day that will change you and get you closer to where your goals are so you can move the ball down the field to start scoring, okay? And then on top of that, what we need to do is create this ferocious optimist mindset, okay? This mindset is an unstoppable, resilient mindset. You got to push through doubts, build your confidence, overcome fear, all those things like that. Learn how your brain works. And one of the number one things is, what do you focus on moment to moment? Are you focusing on the past? Are you focusing on the future? Are you focusing on the present? Are you focusing on the things you want or the things you don't want? Because whatever you focus on is going to grow. It's going to grow, or you're going to get more of it. Okay. And you're going to feel it as well too. And you got to get rid of the poisoning. Stop the poisoning in your life. Okay. All these things in a nutshell. The poisoning are people. People will poison you. Toxic people, toxic things. Okay. Honestly, alcohol, drugs, nicotine, all this shit like that. If you want to win, you do what it takes. You boost your energy as high as possible. You got to take care of your physical fitness and your physical health. If you do nothing else from what I'm saying right now, if you're like, yeah, I still don't know, get the fuck up, get in the gym, start working out, start eating right, start sleeping right, protect your sleep. Stop going out with the fucking dumbasses with all the alcohol, weed, whatever the fuck it is. Okay, I don't care if it's legal or it's not. Things that bring your energy down will screw you up, make you look in the past and mess you up, all right? So you've got to take care of these things. Number one thing is boost your energy. Once you're doing that, you're going to be like, okay, this is possible. I'm going to see that powerful, compelling vision. I'm going to make it. I'm going to get clear and focused on what I want. I'm going to do all the other steps Ben's saying. I'm going to protect my mind, feed my mind with people that empower me, lift me up, help me to have confidence, help me to have a perspective change and change the way I'm seeing things. All right. So without me speaking, this is what I do for a living all the time. Right. So I speak for hours on this stuff. I have several day seminars on these things. So without me running away for the whole damn podcast on it, that's what you got to do. All right. Hit me up if you want to talk more, whatever, we can go offline and chat about this. But in my coaching membership, we do this. One of the coolest things ever, my coaching membership, not to give it a big plug right now, but the community, this stuff I just talked about, everyone's talking about this stuff. I have challenges in there, all these different things. People, it's like a self-licking ice cream cone, this little, mass of people supporting. You post something and everyone's like, oh, I did that too. I've done that. This is what you got to do. Remember this lesson, remember that. And they bring in other knowledge, not just my knowledge. It's like a mastermind in there. It's super cool. So I think you'll really get a lot out of it. But yeah, anytime, hit me up.
Nate or Jay, can you guys have anything to add?
I mean, I just am going to caveat on the coaching and mentorship, right? I like to tell people, think about this. What in your life or activity or sport or anything you've ever done have you gotten substantially better at by yourself with no mentorship or no coaching from someone who's been there, done that, and is at a higher level than you? You don't, right? Like, for example, I'm getting really into competition pistol shooting. That wasn't a big thing we did in the military. And so my pistol instructor for my company, who's incredible at it, he is mentoring me, right? And he's got no law enforcement, no military background at all, but he's one of the best competition shooters you're ever going to meet. So I seek out other people to get that guidance and mentorship. So for like Ben saying, if you are struggling in life with XYZ and you can't figure out how to get out of these ruts, well, do you think you're going to do it by yourself? You might be able to, right? Or you can take the fast track, easy approach and again, get somebody like Ben who's going to coach you and can give you like 20 years worth of knowledge and expertise and transplant that into you. Now, you're not going to absorb everything, but you can take so many things that are going to drastically increase the speed for you to get on that track, right? It's like someone like we joke about with like Andrew Tate, but I mean, that's how he built his fucking massive wealth, was a coaching platform, right? And whether you like it or not, like that works for people for all sorts of different things. It works for sports. It works for, shooting, athletics, military, tactics, everything you could possibly think of. So why not do it in your regular life or game school, right? You're bad with women. I don't know. Maybe get a coach who's good with women that could teach you how to do that, right? So
amen.
That's what I would say. I love that guys in the channel do this type of thing for other people because, yeah, I mean, mentorship, get yourself a mentor. It's not hard to find. They're out there.
And a quick plug for I almost got my son's name. Gage, what's up?
Be careful.
My son.
Be careful.
For the gays.
Gage has got
Quick
some real
plug for the gays. Back to Jake.
No, my son's name is Gage, and he's got some real game. But Jake's game school, I would tell you though. So think about this: when you are approaching a member of the opposite sex, right, female, and you're trying to do that, he's teaching you how to sell. That's what I meant strategically. So if you learn how to open your mouth and sell yourself, next thing you know, you can sell business too. So that would be my plug for Jake on that. And he does know business. Jake does. So he's adding a lot of human psychology stuff in there too that I think will be probably really, really good. Not probably, I know him. It's going to be fucking
Jake,
awesome.
anything to add to for Mason's question?
Yeah, so I took all my notes. Okay, I'm not gonna give Ben a subtle plug. I'm gonna tell everybody he's one of the best in the country. Okay,
thank you, brother. Thank you.
Literally, I teach the exact same thing in a different context, right? Like, you got to have a goal. That's the number one. Ben's number one. You got to have an action plan. I call it an action plan to get there. And then you have to take action every day to make that action plan come to life. Like, literally, like, I teach the exact same 3 steps. I guarantee I teach it probably the same. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, did we learn this at the Naval Academy, right? Like, we came out of the same exact place. But I don't think, like, I got this in 7th grade at football camp at Washington State. And so I just know, like, me and Ben are both successful athletes. We both play football at the Naval Academy. Like, we both had a good run in special operations. Like, it's the same 3 steps if you want to be successful in anything, right? And then to Nate's point, you put in there, like, you got to have a world-class guy, the better guy. So I'll give you this stat. This is a stat I give everybody that blows people away. If your dad is a Major League Baseball player, there's a 50% chance that you will be a Major League Baseball player. Yeah. If your dad is not a Major League Baseball player, you basically don't have any chance to play in the majors. And people are like, well, how is that? And I'm like, go look at the stats. The number one things the scouts are looking for early on in the process, like middle school, early high school, did your dad play in the majors?
Same thing for football these days too. I mean, you're a football coach, they want to know what's the athletic history of the
more
parents.
Likely,
Oh shit, my dad's a Green Beret.
There you are.
Look where I ended up. Yeah. That's
like,
a real
I don't
thing,
think
man.
People understand like the importance of mentorship. Like, if you look at anybody like that is successful, at one point in time, they had to seek out mentorship, whether it's a good father, whether it's good at business, whether it's good at sports, whether it's good at the military. At some point in time, they had to seek out mentorship, somebody that's been there, that's done it, that could impart wisdom on them, right? And a lot of people shy away from it. And I'm just here to tell you guys, man, like, it's you got to put your ego aside, you got to put the pride aside, and you got to go seek it out, right? So if you're in the chat and you're listening to this, wherever you are, like, if you need help, like, go get help. And I know there's a price tag on it, right? But just think about what you're paying for, right? Like, just think about it.
And I'll tell you this. like Jay's saying,
no,
I'm sorry,
good.
man, interrupt you. I'm just getting all excited about this, but every time I've invested in myself, and I've done it so many times, and I've been like, God, this is a lot of money. This is stupid. What am I doing? And I just think, okay, you're investing in your own skills and ability. And I go back to Jim Rohn. You work on yourself more than you work on the job you have. Your job is a vehicle. Okay. I'm not saying quit your job ever, right? I'm saying someday you may want to leave it to do something else for sure. But you got to work on yourself and your skills and your abilities. That's going to make you more money and give you more meaning and fulfillment in life than anything else. And so at a minimum, if you're investing in your own skills and ability and knowledge, and you're doing it from someone that inspires you, it's a game changer. And for me, I've invested a lot of money in myself, and it's never, ever let me down. I've never been like, damn, I wish I never did that. Because I think you get out of it what you put into it. I don't care if it's college, a course, a certification. Like we were talking about, I think Jake and I were talking about go be a plumber, right? I mean, intense certification, right? And you're going to get out of what you put into it. If you become really good at it, well, you can have, employment in business for life.
What Jim Rohn said, you work on your job, you'll make a living. You work on yourself, you'll make a fortune. That's absolutely accurate. Yeah. We have one last super chat. This is from M. Corbin. He just wanted to shout out Jake and tell Jake to get a pimp cane from the very beginning of the show.
Yeah. I answered him. Hey, I want to send this out to everybody, man. I want everybody to understand. I ain't hit 100,000 yet. Nate's at 150. Jay's at like 105, and all three of us, and transcendentally, I don't know if that's a word, but whatever. Ben too. We're all getting mentored by Jamerson. And if you guys think Jamerson's an easy mentor, like just give me a call. I'll let you listen to one of his phone calls where he's MFing me
18 minutes ago.
Well, he called me
how I need to do thumbnails and titles.
Yes. So, but like all of us were down there in the 50s when he grabbed us, right?
100%.
And like, so like understand this. There's 4 guys on here talking about how to get somewhere, mentorship, and all of this stuff. And behind the scenes, Jamerson is mentoring all of us. So just understand, like, and that's one aspect. I got a business mentor who, like, Ben knows him. This dude just told me the other day, he took a $2.5 million company. He's going to do $25 million this year. And he said, I'm guaranteed to do $40 million next year.
And whatever you need a mentor for, it doesn't hurt to ask. So if you want to be a better father and there's somebody that you idolize and that's good with his kids and that's crushed it, just go over there and just talk to him and ask. If you want somebody to help you out with business, with YouTube or whatever it may be, like, no one that's super successful, unless they're an asshole, is going to tell you no, right? If they don't have the time,
there's so few people out there that are successful that'll turn you down for asking for advice or mentorship. I don't think I've ever come across someone that's more successful than me that I've asked for help from that's like, fuck you. Like, I don't think I've ever had that. I've had people less successful than me act that way towards me. But never
because they know what it took them to get there. They know that they too had mentorship, right? So when somebody comes to them, unless, again, if they don't have the time, but they'll still give you advice. They'll point you somebody else, right? Like they'll help you. But if you don't ask, like nobody knows you need the help, like then that's on you to attend Jake's freaking school games, to learn how to ask for help, right? To learn how to speak. And then approach a dude, right? Cold bump him. Be like, hey man, like I'm a fan. I noticed you're crushing it at life at being a father. Like, what advice would you give me? Would you be open to mentorship? I get that shit all the time, right? And I phone the phone calls, like I answer the text messages, I answer the emails, right? To an extent, once I realize you're just stringing me along, then I got to cut sling load. But since I've been on social media, like every single call and every single text message, especially if I can help, like I do it, right? Because I know the power that's in it. So don't be afraid to ask, guys. I say all this to say not to be afraid to go out and ask somebody for help if you need it. Right? And I tell you somebody that didn't ask for help.
Man, we moving mountains.
It's somebody that didn't ask for help. Nate, you want to hit this one off about this Green Beret that's trying to E&E?
Which I was gonna say which shithead Green Beret
the one that's
are we
trying
to
E&E out of freaking Fort Leavenworth, right? I think he's a 10th group guy.
Yeah, so he is, right? So I put out a video on it this morning. I don't know if the rest of you guys in the channel have heard about this, but Yeah, so this was maybe less than a week ago, or maybe about a week ago. 10th Group Green Beret got caught with, well, I guess maybe a couple other prisoners were trying to escape. I'm going to assume he was the ringleader of this whole thing, right? From Leavenworth. And I could probably, I don't know if you could share a photo. Yeah, if I can share screen, I can probably, let's see if I can share screen here. I think I can. I got it right here. Let's see. All right, I'll just share this. It's going to go to my live stream, but you can see. Can you guys see this?
I can't believe Tim Kennedy's on there.
They got caught in the
so
fence.
That's anyway. This don't ignore old Tim Kennedy over here. This is the live stream thumbnail, but you can see this is him, 10th Group Green Beret, outside Leavenworth, caught in the concertina wire. These poor fucking MPs trying to hold him up to get him down off the fence. But yeah, so apparently what happened, this 10th Group Green Beret charges, he got charged with, one of the charges was like some type of weird sharing information video charge. I've never even heard of it. But then four counts of larceny and 1 count of attempted wire fraud. So I'm assuming he stole a bunch of op fund and then tried to embezzle it through wire fraud. We know there's a lot of Green Berets and service members, soft dudes that are in Leavenworth for that exact thing. And yeah, so he prison broke from Leavenworth. I can't tell how far he made it, but that photo kind of looks like maybe he made it close to the outer perimeter to the fence. And yes, he got caught in that concertina wire hanging upside down.
As it's
didn't
meant
quite
to
pull
do.
off a real prison break, which brings up, talks about Sears School and a bunch of other things here of like the first thing I noticed was like, in any prison movie you've ever watched, everyone knows there's concertina wire at the fence. You've got a really good wool blanket that's on your bed 100%. That you always want to take with you so you can throw over the barbed wire, right? You see it in all sorts of movies, but apparently maybe he used it on like some prior.
Maybe that was the last boss.
I don't know, but
that was the last.
Yeah,
fence.
I don't know what you're. The funniest comment that's got the most likes on the video I put out was that somebody said, "Man, his Sears School instructors are going to be so disappointed in seeing that video."
That's actually hilarious. That's actually hilarious. They don't make the prisons like the old school behind the Iron Curtain with the 2 walls, the wall like that, and in between is the land sharks of friggin' the attack dogs and everything like that.
Ben, you ever sent anybody to Fort Leavenworth throughout your career or no?
Oh gosh, there's a whole bunch of stuff. There's like a flurry of madness I've locked away into
a cage,
into some compartments. If we open this up, it's gonna be Pandora's box of flooding, and I'll start telling like all these PTSD stories, and I'll be out of my mind. But no, I mean, I know of people that have had to go. Usually people got like, some of the stuff that I had to deal with, court martials, things like that. It usually wasn't sending them off to Leavenworth. If that happened, it went up more to a general court martial and then, went on from there. But at my level is usually, some type of, OTH, kick out, some confinement, stuff like that. So no, I don't have the pleasure of having putting anybody in Leavenworth that I know of. Maybe someone made it there down the chain after my trial, so to speak. But
okay, so
yeah, that's some wild stuff though, man.
All right, so I'm here in Leavenworth right now, and when I was at Finley had a tradition. We go to a football practice in the Marion State Prison. Okay, and so I was inside the prison walls with all the prisoners. We had about 1,000 prisoners out there with us at practice. It was kind of a neat experience, a little sketchy, but we've been doing it for a while. Okay,
it's kind of like that Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah. So there is a huge primary wall that looks like just a big ass cement wall where all the prison guards are at. Okay.
Are you looking at pictures of it right now?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Like, hey man, if we're gonna break out of prison, we got to know the plan, bro. Like you know how this is.
Was this a show you were on? Weren't you on a show like this where you had to escape?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I saw that.
We had to get away. We had to get out. Sometimes I was in a prison at one point in where the hell was the prison at? We locked the dude in a prison cell. He had a problem getting out. It was kind of funny. But anyway, that was Quebec. So there's 2 secondary fences with the green space. They got sand in between, Jay, you're talking about. And I'm telling you, from the looks of that picture, he was at he had to be at the second wire or the first wire fence, because if he was at the second one, we'd see the first one
We'll see it
through
through the
the
back.
second one. So he was on the inside. Yeah, he's on the interior. But I'm gonna tell you right now, Leavenworth is in the middle of the base. If you can get over that, most prisons are surrounded by like 2 kilometers of just plain cut grass. This place, if you could get out of Leavenworth,
just blend in.
You could actually make it. Like you could be
in.
gone.
Dude,
Yeah.
You figured the first thing anybody would do. Again, this is not military advice, but if you're going to be a special operations soldier, the first thing you do is get the blueprint of Leavenworth and study that thing, just in case you end up there, right? just in case.
And
study.
Listen, how is this a good strategy?
Just in case.
Hey, listen. Anybody playing that?
Well,
first thing you got to do is
Jay's got a good point. If you're going to steal a bunch of op fund and do something super criminal, maybe that's not a bad idea.
That's
a strategy.
I'm going to go back to this. I'm going to go back to this. As a former criminal, okay, criminals are made by getting caught. Okay, so the best criminals have all got caught, and they're like, oh, shit, I'll never do that. Like, there's a huge learning curve to being a criminal. I tell everybody, U.S. Special Operations guys think they're criminals, but they don't have any criminal background, and so they always get caught. Like, it's just how it is. Like, we're really good at planning shit, but we're not criminals. So we do dumb shit, like get caught up on the first fucking Constantino wire, right? Because we're like, oh shit, you put a real criminal in that motherfucker. He got some fucking. He done made a pair of shears out of 2 spoons, and he's like snipping wires. He's got that figured out.
He's got that. He knows. Yeah. He's got to figure it out. But you know what's interesting? You say that, but God, I don't even know how much this will resonate with everybody. But so you think about running a network, right? So if you know, if we're running a network, people that are some criminals in certain types of lines of work and criminality, they know how to run a network. They know how to build one clandestinely and run it. And so what do we teach for some of our advanced skills? Same types of things. But I mean, you can't survive as a criminal. You can't be an outlaw, no kidding, a real out of the law person if you can't run a network. So that's my pitch for people down in
my other thing is if this dude was so big ass special forces, where's his wife at flying the helicopter to just snatch him out the fucking yard?
He's probably got a couple of divorces.
Dude, that's a real story, though. No, this is a real story. Didn't that happen?
True story.
Right?
I know. That's what I'm saying.
What, did we cover this before or something? Or did somebody show this to me?
No. I mean, we're just a real special operations dude. We appreciate that. I've been thinking about breaking your boy El Chapo out. Hey, bud, listen, I know I just broke you out, but I want $2 billion.
Was that in the UK or in France? Where was that? Where the woman learned how to... Yeah, she learned how to fly friggin' helicopter. And
that's right or die right there. Staying on this topic, what do you guys think about President Trump wanting to reopen Alcatraz? What are you guys' thoughts on that?
I got to tell you, the second half of my video was all about that. Yeah. You want me to pitch it? My pitch?
Yeah, you can do it.
All right, so this was my pitch, right? Like I talked in the first half of the video, this 10th group dude fucking up, but then I talked about like a bunch of videos I've done recently. SF is in a big recruitment crisis. We all know it. We're losing twice as many Green Berets as we're producing. So I thought, well, let's really think about this from like a marketing branding perspective. Let's say we do a open Alcatraz, put in some notorious fucking, like, arrest Tim Kennedy for stolen valor, get his ass in there, right? Like, get him to Alcatraz. And then you have that motherfucker escape from Alcatraz, like the Sean Connery, Nicolas Cage movie, right?
Yeah.
Like, no shit, Green Beret escapes Alcatraz, the first person to ever do it. He never gets found. He never gets caught. It's like a D.B. Cooper case, right? Like, who just we think now is a MACV-SOG operator, right? So it becomes this huge, amazing marketing campaign for how fucking amazing, badass Green Berets are. Like the only person who could ever fucking escape Alcatraz is this SEER qualified Green Beret, never got caught. And you make this huge marketing pitch for it. Like it's bad, but also like this is how badass we are. You put it all over the news, all over social media. Fucking then just everybody's like the Navy SEALs. They're like Green Berets are the most badass motherfuckers ever. You make movies about it, a TV show about it. Boom.
But my question is this:
problem solved.
Hold on. I love that.
And
you
make the deal with Tim Kennedy that, hey, man, we do this, you get a bunch of money, but in agreement, you have to never show your face ever again to anyone in existence. So we get rid of him, and he gets to be a hero, and we solve the recruitment crisis.
This is good,
all while opening Alcatraz.
I love that. That's really great. But meanwhile, in Ben's head, as soon as you mentioned The Rock, I was like, why were the Marines the right-wing extremists in this movie? And I was really playing over. I remember, Brian Bennett, right, Jake? Brian, he's a freaking SEAL Admiral now. I'm walking in the movie theater. He's coming out of it. I'm going to see The Rock. He's coming out. This is years ago, right? He's like, never's going to happen, Pappas. Never going to happen this way. I didn't know what he's talking about. So I see it. The Marines, kill all the SEAls and all this stuff. I like that movie a lot, just for all my fellow Marines out there. That was a good
All
scene.
right, guys, we got news from Secdef Pete Eggshells, right? So the person in charge of the U.S. military, Secdef Pete Eggshells, has decided to have fewer top generals and admirals. Right now, there are about 44 of these high-ranking leaders. He wants to cut that number by 20%, which means about 8 or 9 positions will go away. Eggshells says this will help the military work better and faster. Some people agree, but others don't. I can almost guess what Ben is going to say, but let's hear what he has to say. Less generals and...
Wait. Say this one more time. I'm still thinking about The Rock and right-wing extremists. One more time. Tell me more.
Hey, if you didn't notice, Ben, I'll go. Let Ben think about it a little bit. All right, so here's what I'm going to say. In World War II, with 10 million troops, we had 8 active generals running the war.
4 or 5 star, yeah.
I rest my case. Like it has been blown up so disproportionately that it is absolutely stupid. Okay. And that's how I rest my case. And no one can tell me, the technology's better. We're running at 3 million people right now in the armed forces. They had 10 million, and we have 10 times the number of generals and admirals now in the military.
Ben, Secdef Pete Eggshells wants to cut the admiral and general ranks by 20%, right? So he wants less generals and admirals. What are your thoughts?
Do we know? I mean, I think looking at it, what are the actual active duty numbers right now, and what is the task organization? Why have they created all these positions for command and control, for liaison, for coordination, for planning? I mean, I want to know why were they there? What was the intention? What are the job descriptions? What are the job billets? You know what I mean? I think obviously if you to run a business, if you can save money, so you're either making money, saving money, right? And again, the government isn't fully a business, but he's got to consider budget. He's got to consider all these things. He's got to consider, do we have any also any little political influence going on where people can block things that he's trying to do? So he has to consider all those things on his side. But on my side, just quantitatively and quantitatively, and then just the facts of why were these created, what are the job descriptions, what functions they serve. Are we reducing function and flexibility to expand? So because if we get rid of structure like that and we get rid of certain types of people, if we expand into a larger war, are we hurting our ability to task organize and have other task forces available? You can't just create a general and admiral out of nowhere. Now, if he's identifying,
you fucking can. Okay. We did with a lot of them.
Well, hey, we just made Eggshells.
Ben, finish though, because I'm going to push back.
But Eggshells is not a commander. He's not a military commander. He's a politically appointed leader of a large organization, and he knows what the administration is trying to accomplish. You know what I mean? So he's a different animal, in my opinion. That's like there was a movie once about the FBI, and they're going after Johnny Depp played like this bad guy. And they're coming after him like, are you a real lawman for the administrator? He's like, no, I'm an administrator. I'm the administrator of the FBI. That's, what I do. And so that's kind of like, Eggshells he's not supposed to be a commander of any one of the COCOMs, right? The combatant commands, but he's supposed to be, the leader of the Defense Department. So, but again, to my point is that you cannot create this type of experience as a commander at that level out of nowhere. So I would just, that's what my questions would be. So to say if it's a good idea or a bad idea, I just think, he's the one in the seat and he's making the call. And he probably sees some things that I don't see right in front of me right now. But these would be the questions I would be asking. You know, why are they there? What's the original job description? Is this like, you know, are we duplicate, triplicate? Well, then if it is, why is it there? It no longer serves the function anymore. And there's a lot of that. There's a lot of stuff that was created before that isn't needed anymore. And so that's probably what's going on. He's probably getting rid of it. But if it's not, he's actually getting rid of things in structure that could help us to expand and to flex into a new you know, theater of combat or a new theater of conflict, then you have to question, well, why are we doing that? You know what I mean? So I don't know. A lot. It just leaves more questions for me.
Here we go, Ben. I'm going to give you the rough numbers for
great.
Nate too. Okay, so roughly there is 149 Army. I'm sorry. No. 218 for the Army, 149 for the Navy, 170 for the Air Force.
It's like 700. It's insane.
It's 803, I think, is a total number. There's 62 for the Marine Corps and 21 for the Space Force.
All right, let me just end the discussion, right? I'll end it with this point. Jay, answer this question. What rank is a Special Forces fucking group?
Full bird, right? Colonel. Yeah.
A colonel, a fucking colonel, to run an entire Special Forces group, not a battalion, a group. I'm sorry, there's not anything that much more complex than that, period.
100% there is. There are things way more complex than that.
Hang on.
Like what?
He's a force provider. He's a force provider.
Hang on,
wait a minute. Strategy?
No.
And here's another thing. With 800 fucking generals, and we couldn't figure out how to fucking run Afghanistan and Iraq. So my point is, World War II, like Jay said, had 8 fucking generals in a conflict 1,000 times more complex, but we need 100 times that to run the military. That's 1/5 the size.
I think you have to look at the way we fight now compared to the way we plan on fighting.
No, I don't fucking think so. It's all political. They're all politicians, dude.
Hang on, wait a minute. Let's not get into a nasty argument because I want to throw something right at Ben. I'm going to throw.
I think the General Officer Corps is the biggest fucking problem for the entire military. I am disappointed that it wasn't gutted 90%.
The Chinese are in this discussion right now. They're like, oh, listen in. They're like, oh, listen, come to the war room. We're going to start getting promoted.
20%.
Everyone.
I was like, why the fuck? Why the fuck wasn't it 90?
And Putin right now is like, tune in. This is great. Fleece your leadership. This is awesome. Okay,
wait a minute.
Let me say this.
Yeah, because the leadership is dog shit.
The reason why Nazi Germany rose back up is because the German general staff. Make no mistake. It was the German general staff that rebuilt 100%. The war machine. Who are they?
100%.
Generals. Whoa, imagine that. Because they had what? Historical knowledge.
Yeah,
whoa,
like Millie and Austin. Yeah, those generals have really showed how fucking great they are. We've really seen that in the last 20 years.
The Wehrmacht was amazing.
Really fucking impressed everybody in the Global War on Terror.
God damn, Nate.
He's going crazy. He's getting into it.
God damn.
Let
me say this.
But there's a lot of red herrings in there. A lot of red herrings. You know, chase this over here, attach this to this that doesn't really attach. Okay, we're talking about.
You think the fucking botched withdrawal of Afghanistan that was oversought by our generals? That's just a red herring over here. Fuck that, dude.
Is he He's connecting that to why he's firing all these people to make up for Afghanistan. That really?
Yeah,
nowhere did he say that.
But
don't try to draw an emotional argument that has no bearing on really what's happening. Because
I'm looking at the overall success of the American military over the last 20 years.
Some people see through it.
I get your officer. I get it. You don't want to hear this.
Nate.
The officer corps has not.
Liar.
How much success has the U.S. military had in the last fucking 5 conflicts we've had?
Won them all, Bob. Semper Fi, do or die. Won them all.
Now,
love her to leave it.
We've lost the conflicts due to politics. Right? We've lost a lot of conflicts due.
Love it or leave it.
Generals and admirals.
Wait, we spent 20 years.
Or technically politicians, anyways. Right?
We spent
they're all politicians.
20 years to
kill
fucking
Jake, what do you got?
That was a win.
What do you got, Jake?
Bam.
Yes. All I want to say is I feel like having briefed a number of 3-star admirals, I understand there's a lot of corporate knowledge, but the other thing I'm going to say right now in 2025, shit is changing so fast that having old people at the top, I don't feel. Now, I will say this. Old sage advice is very important. We all know without the fucking warrant or the E8 or E9, whole bunch of idiots get killed by the idea ferry, right? We know that. I'm not saying get rid of all the technical knowledge, all that shit. But when I briefed the 3-star admiral, and that dude was in World War II, okay, like at the end of World War II, I'm just like, yeah, is that applying right now in 25 when the number one thing we got out there is drones? And I just read a big article about the 125 Indian and Pakistani dogfight where the Chinese fighters were shooting down shit. And I'm like, it wasn't a dogfight. They were shooting 100-mile missiles. And it was the dumbest shit in the world, because if anybody put up the 10,000 drone swarm, they would have killed all the motherfuckers. So that's my only argument. Like, I just feel like we got too much top heaviness. It's the same shit in government, right? Like, I equate it right to government. Why do we
1000%.
fucking suck in America? Because we have too much fucking government.
I think we need to find like the sweet spot, right? I don't think we need as less generals as World War I and World War II, 8 and 9, but I don't think we need over 800 either. I think we need to streamline, just like we're doing with government now, right? And get the right people in the right positions and get rid of some of these. Dude, even at the lowest level, we have positions that we've created just for people. You know what I mean? Like at the lowest level, we create positions just so we can make, like people feel good about themselves, right? Like, why the fuck do we need an XO position? You know what I mean? Like, the company commander should be able to handle all of that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the big thing though, is really taking a look at, why are they there? Why does he want to get rid of them? And looking at, future conflict in the state of affairs right now, and how do we plan on fighting? I think that's the big thing. How do we plan on fighting? And again, he's the one in the seat, and if he thinks that that's the right thing to do, then there's a reason he's in there, and the president's backing him up, and so you know what I mean. Again, I don't have the data that he's looking at for why he's doing what he's doing exactly, but I mean, if he's not getting it right, then we're going to find out later. But for right now, he's immersed in this, and he's the decision maker. And so, again, cost savings, things like that, or people that are blocking programs, I think that's important. And all joking aside, and all theatrics aside, I mean, I think that's the biggest thing to look at. So
I got a question for Ben. Okay, follow on question, Ben. You're the highest ranking person on this podcast by like 6 ranks. Okay. If I made you a 4-star general in the Marine Corps right now, or a 3-star general in the Marine Corps, would you have any second givings about doing the job?
Would I not want to do the job?
No, I'm saying, would you feel as though you couldn't do the job? If I made you a 3-star general tomorrow, would you be in that chair saying, man, I don't know if I can do this job?
Oh, I mean, I think as who I am, I would go right after it and give it my all. But to think that I have the depth of understanding that someone that has another decade of experience over me and has had significant command experience, I think there could be some mistakes made, some judgment mistakes, some foresight, mistakes. I mean, I think, General Mattis used to talk about it. He spent his whole life. People would ask him, how did you make this decision so quickly? I spent my whole life getting ready for this decision so that I could make it in 30 seconds when it came. So I think we can't discount that. But at the same time, like I'm saying, that's what I know. And at the same time, the Secdef's got a job to do. He's got a job to do, and he's seeing a reason, to get rid of some of these positions, and so he's doing what he has to do. That's it. I think we have to be careful though about attaching reasons that aren't fully connected to the reason why he's getting rid of these. I mean, he's got a job to protect the United States of America, and I think that's what he thinks he's doing to the best of his ability. We
got spaceships, Ben. We got spaceships.
I love it.
I love it. So we got a couple of super chat we'll hit on real quick. Again, there are more comments, nothing too crazy. And again, folks, we appreciate the super chat. So M. Corbin tells us so this one's from M. Corbin. You tell me the plates off for the heat leaps. I think this one was in relations to that Green Beret that we were talking about. It's just a comment. And then this last one here, and then we'll jump into the next story. M. Corbin. Damn, M. Corbin. Hey, we appreciate you, right? This one is as it relates to generals. Corporate knowledge that can't build a sub. Not sure what that means, but we appreciate you sharing it either way. All right, so we're going to stay on peak Secdef here because I can tell you one thing, man. Like he's definitely pumping shit out. He recently I think it was on the 8th, right? He signed an executive order giving trans a deadline. They got to be out by, I think it's like June 8th. They got to be out the military, right? But that's not the one that we're going to cover. So he recently also signed the no more walking on eggshell policy. And what this policy does is it allows commanders to be commanders without the fear of low enlisted running to IG and filing a complaint saying, hey, this guy, made me, do X, Y, and Z because I'm a female or because I'm black or because I'm Jewish or because I'm white. So he's essentially giving the commanders their powers to command, right? By saying, hey, if this happens, I'm backing you 100%. Because again, prior to that, it wasn't like that, right? Guys would go run to IG for everything. Oh, you want me to shave my face? You're racist. IG complain, right? So in a recent executive order he signed, he was like, hey, no more walking on eggshell, commanders, go be commanders. Don't worry about that shit anymore. Jake, what are your thoughts on that?
It's easy to say, it's harder to do. Like when you're going up for 06 and they know that, you had 3 command complaints of sexual misconduct. There's 4 dudes on the board that know everything, all the details. They're just going to not promote you. So I think it's hard in the military when you start talking about commanders. They're already protecting the shit out of themselves. But, Ben will talk about it like with real detail. I just think like having been in the industrial machine of the Navy, like it's all politics after 05. Like it's all politics. And so like I tell like my 2 dudes that are going to make admiral, fingers crossed, have 4-star admirals who they are tucked up under their wing. They literally have taken every job for the last 3 years based on that 4-star admiral telling them what job to take.
Ben, what are your thoughts?
I think you have to be able to enforce good order and discipline. You have to be able to. And I think again, it's just, if you don't let them command in the way that they know will enforce good order and discipline and create, the best fighting organization they can, then, you're asking for this kind of, vote by consensus or this leadership by consensus. Okay, we're going to do this. Is that okay, guys? Everyone okay with that? Everyone's cool with it? Okay, no problems, then go on. Now, of course, you still have your command climate surveys. You have all these things like that are really going to make a big difference. If you get sideways on one of these surveys, it's going to come out. And you also still are going to have all of your senior enlisted leaders in there, things like that can go around you and say stuff like, hey, this is really toxic down here. And that commander will be removed. So I think, as long as they're following what, the letter of the law is, in their decisions and things like that, you don't have, I want to say you don't have a whole lot of latitude, so if it's being taken away by concerns of people going to cry to mom, dad's making a decision, they're going to go cry to mom, or they're going to go launch a congruent, all these things like that. And now you can't really make real hard changes in a unit if you need to, So especially, as we see, like, we're getting emotional about, some big things as we should, talking about Afghanistan stuff, like these are emotionally charged, not to make light of it. And so as units have been banged up and been in combat, there are a lot of emotions that are flying as well too. And so if you're having to enforce good order and discipline on a unit that has a lot of this past trauma as well, you got to know that the institution is going to back you up, because it's hard. It's not easy, and you may have little groupings of people here and there of soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, whoever, that don't agree with the discomfort that you're about to put on the unit, but even though it may be for the good of the unit. So I think, I think he's smart. Obviously, again, like I said, he's seeing a lot of things that we don't see, and hearing these are where a lot of the problems are. And that's his job. His job is to set the climate so that the organization can perform to its very best.
Absolutely.
So I think it's probably a good thing.
How hard is it to fire a commander, Ben?
Well, hold on. Let me tell a quick story, because Ben has said some things like he sees things we don't see. Now, as NCOs, we see this shit all the time. Let me tell you a story. Right before I retired, or a couple years before I retired. I was going to go to the 18 Fox course, needed to get my top secret clearance because I never got it because I was too lazy. You guys know, if you've ever got one, it's a fucking pain in the ass to do, right? So I fill out all the bullshit online, do it all. Get to the point, I get my fingerprints where I need to get my fingerprints taken, right, to do the final thing. I go into the S2 office. The E3 female working in there tells me, nah, I can't do your fingerprints. I don't have the ink. Go to the MP station. Okay. Go down to the MP station, get my fingerprints taken, not digitally because it's 2023, but hard copy, bring them back, go back in, right? And I'm like, okay, I need to have you guys ship these in. She goes, nah, just mail them to the FBI yourself. And I go, you want me to just mail my own top secret clearance fingerprints, like by my home address to the FBI? She goes, yep, that's how you do it. I go, no, I don't think that's how you actually do it, right? And she goes, no, you do. I'm not doing it. And I'm like, okay, where is the, NCOIC of the, and he comes in, dough-faced, like, oh God, on his face, right? Because obviously this chick's a problem all the time. I don't know this at the time. He comes in, he's like, well, this and this. So she's like, no, I'll mail them. And I'm like, okay. And I hand it to him. She grabs them out of my hand. She goes, too bad I'm not mailing them now. Throws them in the trash. And I go, and I'm a senior E7 in group at this point. So I go, okay, I'm just like, and I've already been in trouble a lot of times for screaming at support kids based off of who Nate is. Okay. So I'm like, I'm not going to the sergeant major's office again for fucking being mean. So I just say, okay, walk to my company sergeant major's office with my.
Did you go get your card out the trash? Did you go get the card out the trash?
No,
first?
It's behind her desk, dude.
Oh,
so I'm like, fuck this, I'm out. I go get my team sergeant, who's a fucking senior E8, promotable. I get my company sergeant major, who's an E9, and I say, tell them what happened, and they're like, oh fuck that, right? Like, we big dog fucking sergeant major coming in to fucking take care of this, and the fucking E3. We walk in. Senior E7, senior E8, fucking company sergeant major, E9. She doesn't even get up off the desk, arms crossed. As soon as that sergeant major, my team sergeant, and I walk in, she goes, I told that motherfucker I ain't gonna fucking mail his fingerprints, blah, 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 blah. Sergeant major almost tries to say something. She goes, you're not gonna fucking talk to me that way, right? And we're like, E3, E-fucking-3, female.
All right, Nate, was she black?
Sergeant. It doesn't matter. Okay.
I want to know.
It doesn't matter.
Wait,
but that's not the point. Wait, let me get to the point of the story.
God
my sergeant major, just like me, goes, whoa, okay, I'm going to go talk to the fucking commander, the battalion commander about this, because this is so outrageous, right? We all walk out. He comes back 5 minutes later. We're just sitting down in the company sergeant major's office. Company sergeant major comes walking back down, completely defeated. And he goes, okay, so here's what's going to happen.
No, don't tell
Nobody
me.
will go into the S2 office without a chaperone, and we will not speak to her anymore. We will do that through the other S2 officer, and that was it. She got in no fucking trouble. And the reason why was we don't want to deal with a sexual assault allegation in the company.
Hey, that battalion commander.
No punishment. No fucking nothing.
Well, I think that's that.
So my point is, when we talk about Pete Hegseth, what he's doing, no more walking on eggshells, that shit is happening all the fucking time throughout the fucking military. So yes, it is important because, of course, like you guys said, there's going to be times where this comes out. If there's a fucking commander that's doing sexual assault, shit like that, that'll come out through the weeds. But shit like this is a big fucking problem.
Here's the thing too, Nate.
So
like,
that's
you gotta, that specific
that's a great example.
Incident, that specific situation right there, I'm willing to bet money on it. Somebody's fucking her, because there's no way she would have that much.
Damn!
Absolutely,
because she's got some courage. She's got some courage.
And somebody
real
high up the chain, bro.
Somebody,
But bro,
Ben ain't been around females.
No, he's right. No, Jake's right. Jake, you're right. That's what I want to say is that, like, and Nate, that's a fantastic illustration. And that's what I meant. Like, he's seeing something that I'm not seeing. I was in the infantry, then I was in Force Recon, and I was at a Raider battalion. Like, so, no, honestly,
anytime
those females start acting up like that,
tight,
she's got somebody by the balls.
I got one.
Oh no, 100%. There's somebody who's
Here we go. Here we go. Let's get it out. Okay. I'm on the USS Maris Snacks. Okay. I'm the 1st Division officer. I've been there probably about a year. I got my swope in already. I'm fucking cruising. And a young lady that I know really well comes to me and says, hey, man, can you send Seaman Casey back to the birthing? We had been having every fucking problem known to man with Seaman Casey, okay? Little, like, Tennessee hillbilly chick, like, just, I got bigger than, I mean, she got big quick, okay? As soon as she said that, I said, where has she been sleeping? She was like, in the first lieutenant's stateroom.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I said, oh, how long has this been going on? She's like, we've been underway 20 days. She has not been in her rack one night.
Wow.
Oh, okay. Now, this is how it went, though. I buttered up to the first. Hey, first, not saying something's going on, but the women in birthing want to see Seaman Casey back in her rack tonight. They're getting real pissed with her fucking attitude. And he just kind of looked at me and was like, interesting. And walked away, right? And then she slept in her rack that night. But yeah, anytime one of them E1 to roughly about E3s, E4s starts getting crazy, someone E7 or higher is banging her back out.
Never even thought about that.
That's got to be it.
So,
that's a good point.
Dude, somebody would have snatched her up and put her through a wall immediately when she starts talking like that. Yeah.
Well, what we said needed to happen was, it was like the only change you need to make is bring the fucking female OIC of some other fucking S shop,
right,
and put her in fucking charge of that woman. Watch fucking what happens.
Watch the change. That's a great point.
Yeah, it would be real fucking different scenario. And I think that's it. Eventually what they ended up doing was like, okay, we'll just pull like the S3 female OIC down here, and she's going to be in charge of your ass. Good luck with your bullshit.
Back to the follow-up question.
I would have videoed
Jake, sorry, go ahead.
I would have videoed the interaction real slyly, and then I just would have.
Dude, none of us were expecting it, dude. Like,
you went back 3 or 4 times. Like the next time I go back
once.
Oh, okay.
That was, I left the office so blown away.
And then you went and got.
And I figured the company Sergeant Major will handle this, right? We back in. That explosion, go fuck yourself, happens, and we leave. That's it. And then he goes up to the battalion commander's office, comes back down, and is basically like, sorry. Yeah,
battalion commander's probably like,
don't go in there.
I know exactly who she's fucking, and she's already threatened to release it.
Probably, yeah.
We don't want any part of this.
Yeah,
young lady, I need to get you on this helicopter. We're going to see somewhere. She got foot and ass out the back
door. Ben, from your experience, how hard is it to fire a commander?
Fire all the generals
I know, right?
first of all. Next, no.
Agree.
We had some fun with that one. Anyway, so how hard is it to fire somebody? I mean, there's a soft relief, right? There's always a soft relief. There's all that stuff. But I mean, to really fire someone, like, you mean like kick them out of the military?
Let's say one of your commanders, or not doing their job, or unbecoming of an officer, and how do you get rid of them without worrying about them filing an IG complaint or doing all that other stuff that might affect you?
Yeah, no, there's not. I mean, I don't know. I never had any concern about that at all. I mean, again, the organizations that I was with in the infantry and in Force Recon, and then in MARSOC as well too. I think I never felt any fear about any reprisals, anything like that. Especially, I always cross my T's, dot my I's, and you make sure you follow a good process for coaching, for counseling. There has to be, a reason. Is there a reason that, was like some catastrophic event that happened, or was it just consistent bad leadership, failure of certain qualification events, things like that? So all these things together. But no, I never felt any concern about, if I had to relieve someone. And usually, you go through a real deliberate process, because let's face it, when you relieve somebody, you're destroying their career, right? So you got to make sure it's a military death sentence, right? And so like 12 Angry Men, you want to make sure that you have beyond a shadow of a doubt that this is the right thing to do. Okay. It's not like, you're benching, it's not like you're benching a player on a football team for a half or something like that. This is the end. So you got to really take real heart, real concern, real care when you do it. I always did. And you don't take it lightly, but at the end of the day, you can't fear the reprisal, because as soon as you start feeling reprisals like that, you've lost also your edge and your credibility as a leader. So because frankly, it's not just the commanders that have to worry, it's senior enlisted too. You know, when people start getting fired, you know, they have to be concerned as well too about regiment, group coming down, all these different things, higher command coming down, division, and taking a look and saying, what happened here? How did this happen? This person was stellar over there. Now they're gone. Now we're getting some complaints. And you got to be able to stand with your decision. But the best way to do that is having a counseling jacket, having a history, really being able to explain why you did what you did, you know? And so, and also, like Jake's saying with the game school thing, right? Socializing, communicating, selling your idea, and not manipulating, but literally it's the art of influence. You know, how do I get this idea across? This is my rubric, right? Why I made these decisions. Here's the evidence. Here's my social support system, right? Social proof. The leaders that believe what I'm doing is right. Okay. And that's it. And you go with it, you know, but you don't act alone unless it's like in extremis. You don't just act alone and just do it. Right. Now, combat firings are different. Sometimes that can happen right on the spot. You know, there are things that happen for cowardice as well too. You know, I don't think I've been around those, but I've heard of them. I've heard of them and I've seen it. You know, I've been around it when it's happened. It's equally devastating because that is really unmanning somebody too.
That's wild.
So.
The other thing I'm going to say, Jay, from my perspective, having seen it, it also depends on how good a command you're at, right? If you're at the 82nd, if you're at the Ranger Bat, you fuck something up, you're going to get fired. You're on the USS. You're on the USS Merrimack. Every officer on my ship had been fired except the 4 junior officers and the CO and XO. And we ran aground in Bahrain, and the admiral told her, "No, you didn't." So they didn't give 2 shits about the USS Merrimack. They weren't going to relieve the captain because she ran aground. It just depends on the command, right? Like if you're at a good command, they fucking all bets are off. You're on a shitty command and the military knows it's a shitty command. Like you're at Adak, Alaska. The dude was stealing fucking oil for fucking 17 years. They knew about it for 12 years. They just didn't want to do nothing about it because it was a shitty ass command out in the Aleutian Islands in Adak, Alaska.
Okay, I'll say to Jake's point, in MARSOC, they would fire. I saw team sergeants get fired, team chiefs get fired, team commanders be fired. I've seen company commanders get fired and be relieved, you know, for cause, and or be relieved for, you know, poor performance and lack of confidence. When confidence is lost, they fire them. And then there's always somebody in the wings in one of the S shops, you know, waiting, one of the 3 shop or something, waiting to go. Infantry, same thing, especially in going into combat. I'd seen platoon commanders, infantry platoon commanders fired right on the spot, you know, for not moving fast enough when they said go. General Mattis was also notorious for this, that if you didn't move fast enough, he fired a regimental commander, an RCT, Regimental Combat Team Commander, which is one very, very, you know, it's like, you know, very powerful organization. You know, you name it, tanks, armor, everything with it, infantry. Fired him in the spot in combat because he didn't move fast enough according to his intent. So, you know, like Jake's saying, it depends on the organization.
Wow.
So,
well, I appreciate you guys sharing that. All right. So another super chat. This one's coming from Mark. Excellent episode tonight, especially with the 4 horsemen on the panel. I know you guys are asking about Aaron. Sorry he couldn't be here tonight. He is out in Colorado taking care of some things, right? He should be back hopefully next week. All right. Space Force. Yes, that's a thing, right? They are getting ready to establish their own special operations command. All right. That's going to be a thing. Dude, I'm not making this shit up, right?
hang on, wait. I got some black knowledge. I got some black. I got black knowledge.
Well, that's because you're black, Jake.
I'm gonna give you black knowledge. No, black.
Well, first of all, no, he's not, Jay.
Oh, I'm not. I'm Jewish. Remember, I denounced that 34%. I denounced it.
Yeah. Wait, but can I say something real quick? My son showed me something, or someone showed me something like there's Uncle Ruckus or something, and that's right.
What is it?
Uncle
Ruckus?
You won't know
Ruckus.
It either. It's too young.
It's
man.
from Uncle Ruckus is from a TV show. God damn, is it Afro Samurai? I can't remember the name of the show.
No.
Afro Samurai?
No, but you're close.
I mean,
I think of it. I watch it all the time.
It's the one that was on that.
It is. It is.
Oh, it was
Afro Samurai.
Okay.
It is.
It was on one of those like late night cartoons.
Yes.
It's Afro Samurai, man.
Boondocks.
No.
I thought it was. No, I was going to say Boondocks. Yeah, it's from Boondocks. There you go.
It's Boondocks.
Uncle Ruckus.
Okay.
There it is. That's the Boondocks.
Well, yeah, guys. Space Force Special Operations Command. Their job will be to work with other special operation teams and help them with mission that involves satellite, space communication, and keeping our country safe from space threats. Right?
Okay.
So yes,
that's where the secret
everybody
squirrel
wants
stuff
to
comes
be
in.
special.
I'm joining
Jake,
right there.
Since you got black knowledge.
Okay, listen. Let me tell y'all something. So in the SEAL teams, you hear weird shit, okay? And a lot of times it's I'm sure Ben has heard it. I don't know how y'all are in the Green Berets, but the Navy, because the SEALs is like this isolated little 2,500 man pocket, like we get involved in crazy shit, like stealth boats, right? Dumbest shit in the world. You can't stealth the wake, right? So there's nothing in front of the V wake. All right, it was dumb as shit. But I also saw Harry Potter's cloak, okay? So one day I'm fucking sitting around and dude comes in. He goes, "Hey man, you heard about Space Force?" I said, "No, I ain't heard about Space Force. What'd you hear?" He said, "Man, I just got told that there's a fucking academy in a mountain in Nevada that's been taking 16-year-olds, training fucking spaceship guys, and we've been going to Mars since like the mid-'80s in 5 hours." I was like, what? I was like, what? He's like, yeah. Okay, now, wait a minute. I am going to go on the record and say this. The SR-71 went away how long ago? 20 years, correct?
Yeah.
And we had the SR-72 that whole fucking time, okay? So don't believe that we're getting a new Special Operations Space Force is something new. That shit's been around for like 20 years, and there's a whole fucking space fleet out there that we don't know about. And all of this shit is starting to come because they're not going to give it to us all at one time. They're not just going to say, "Hey, oh yeah, we got spaceships."
I love watching Nate. I'm sorry, I'm watching Nate. Nate's dying.
Hey, I'm just fucking telling you. Hey, you say what you want. You heard it here. What is it? May 9th, 2025. Yeah, Nate, you heard it here.
Let's have it.
That's all. I rest my case.
I don't know what the fuck that was, but yeah, I don't know what special operations is going to do in space. Maybe it's relevant, maybe it's not. I mean, could it be relevant in them like helping and working with like develop technology for soft teams to use on the ground? Maybe. I don't know if that's the angle, but like I'm thinking of like space Marsoc dudes like flying around and like fleets going to Mars. Like that's what I think of when I think of like fighting aliens and shit.
Well,
like that's what I think of as
Starship Trooper, baby.
What is the running joke? Like if Marines are the first ones to meet aliens, you know the first thing they're going to ask is, "Can I fuck it?" Right? So like, I don't know. I mean, whatever. Like, give everybody out there. Give everybody special operations. Give the space. I don't even know. They get berets,
right?
Yeah.
For sure.
Sure. Why not, dude? At this point, it's beyond like my knowledge base of how any of that shit works. So fuck it. Sure. Right. Space nerds, right? Like it's gonna be a bunch of nerdy kids that join. Cool. If it's good for America and the Department of Defense and the military, awesome. Rock on. I'm too dumb. I want to sign up. How any of that works.
I want to sign up. Yeah. If they have jetpacks and I get like I tech with spacecraft. I also want to become a drone pilot. So I'm ready. I'm ready for the next conflict.
I will say though, to Jake's point, I know this is true when he talks about fucking Harry Potter blankets. It's a real thing. My buddy that's a team sergeant literally was telling me about them using it. It's counter drone. It's like a fucking Woovie type thing that they can do completely invisible to drones that are coming by. So it's a new technology that's even being fielded out at the ODA.
But that's wild,
so that's a real thing.
Yeah,
I don't know about the fucking intergalactic fleets that Jake got into, but
hang on, wait a minute.
The Harry Potter blanket's a real thing.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
That was 30 years ago, 1998. I saw Harry Potter's blanket. That shit was real. They were in a room.
That's definitely real now.
Holding it up with motherfuckers coming in being like, "Holy shit!" The dude pulling it down and going, "Ha!"
Well, what do you mean?
Invisible
I'm missing everything here. I'm like,
so there's this.
It's an invisible fucking blanket that takes a picture behind it and transposes it on the front of it. Now, the one I saw had a big-ass black box and was plugged into the wall. It wasn't portable. You couldn't take it nowhere. But it literally, and it was about 95%. It was enough for you to be like, okay, there's something going on over there, but that looks like a file cabinet at the desk. And
they've got this new like material. It's kind of like a whoopee blanket. Basically, what they're doing is they'll throw it over the top of themselves, and as long as you stay completely still, the drone can't fucking see you at all through its camera or through its infrared or anything like
Predator.
that.
You're almost like Predator. You're like the Predator.
Yeah, but that's like for drone technology. It's a counter drone thing, but it's a real thing that they fucking have even at some of the team level right now. So, because again, obviously we're looking at the future of war, and fucking drone warfare is a serious concern. So they've been working on a lot of stuff.
I mean, that's where the big money is from what I hear. I mean, people that I know that are going back and forth from Ukraine and just talking about how quickly the drone technology is advancing. But if, anybody out there have ideas about counter drone, if you got counter drone ideas and you can bring it to fruition, I mean, that's the big thing right now, because from what they're saying is that basically no place on earth is going to keep up with the tech that's coming out of Ukraine and out of Russia for a drone, which is kind of scary when you think about it. Kind of scary. Our stuff is too exotic. It's too, put together with so many different systems on it. And they're having these quick, rapid, cheap made drones that are they're counter EW, electronic warfare. They're, counter this, counter that. The final loop they're trying to come up with is the AI in the final kill loop. So the AI can take over for all the countermeasures and not be messed with. Some of them, like at a conference I was at recently, are on these long wires now to counter the EW as well too. So
fiber optics.
Fiber optic wires. So we're going back to almost like the TOW. You guys remember the TOW missile on a wire, right? And so it can't get messed with anymore. It can't get messed up from EW. But I mean, the Space Force stuff, as much as we laugh and all that, and Jake's got some great points, and I mean, there's some real validity to a lot of things though, because what stuff that came out 2 years ago, and then all of a sudden it went away. What was that? What the hell? I want to know, what was that, right? Jake,
I got one for you, Ben.
Bring it. Let's do it.
I'm gonna ask a general question, just a general question. Okay, when did the space shuttle go away?
It's right here down the street. Actually, I see it.
It is, but it went away like 30 years ago. Yeah. Okay, like in the early 90s. Name a time in American history where we've gotten rid of something and didn't already have its
100%. 100%.
Okay, so let's just, I'm just going with the facts, right? The SR-71 was around since the 50s. It did not come out into the public eye until the late 80s.
But we do have Elon. Okay? We got Elon and Jeff Bezos with all their stuff.
Absolutely. No, I'm saying, but listen, they can't. They're like, all right, just pay them dues to get the stuff up there to the space station and everything. We're fucking on the black side of the moon on a base. I'm just saying, dog, it's 2025. We're doing really major things in technology, and you're telling me we don't have spaceships yet. Okay, I'm telling you, technology doubles every 18 months. And we made the airplane in fucking 2000 or 19.
So what you're saying, Jake, is on the dark side of the moon, there's a PFC in a fucking op center somewhere yelling at some fucking some Space Force operators about his fucking.
And there's some general running it who needs to get fucking fired. Damn it, bastard!
I feel like we're like within 5 years of Starship Troopers, which means I'm gonna be young enough to fucking re-enlist and fucking get after it in the aliens fucking world, man.
Space Force Secret Squirrels, hear me right now. I'm bored. I'm ready. I want to go to the black side of the moon. Send the black helicopter up. I'll jump right off. I'm going. I want to start, fighting in space against, the aliens. I'm ready. Friggin' ready. Let's go.
It is interesting though, because Space Force actually was recruiting out of the soft elements and has for a while. One of my buddies from group actually.
I don't know why the Air Force just didn't take that mission on
4 years ago or something like that.
I don't know why the Air Force just didn't take that fucking mission on. I don't understand.
Because it's cooler to fucking invent a new one, I guess.
I don't understand what
Space
they
Force.
So I'll tell you this. I met a while back, a couple years ago, one of the original first, leaders in the Space Force. And I can still get back in contact. We want to try to get him on the show. I don't know if he'll do it though. He probably won't do it.
That would be dope, dude.
I'll send him a little text and see, hey, get him on here. But
teach him how to turn his camera off and do all that good stuff.
Yeah.
No, I won't show up. I won't show up. Like, listen, I'm the political nightmare. I know. I'll just make sure I'll give him my spot.
We won't be here. Aaron will show up, and Aaron will be like, conspiracy theory, and hit him with all these things. Be like, what happened? I'll be blocked forever.
But yeah, that shit's wild, man. But yeah, to everybody's point, like, I'm sure there's technologies out there that we don't even know about, nor do I want you. I don't even want to know about it anymore. I just want to live my life and inspire and do all these great things. Jake?
Philadelphia experiment, 1950s. We sent a ship to Norfolk and it came back to Philadelphia. Just do the research. It's fucking all over the. You can go read about it. Like, we were sending ships to Norfolk via time travel in the 50s. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not a conspiracy theory dude. I'm just a fucking real dude. Like, Tesla was flying around at 300 miles a second in the 1890s. Okay? Not hearsay, not conspiracy, facts. There we go.
300 miles a second?
300 miles. He went from Pennsylvania to Miami and back in like 4 minutes.
Yeah, see, Jake, I want to just stay ignorant to all that shit. I don't want to know any of it, right? I just
Jake, did you know that Donald Trump's grandfather actually was the one right after Tesla died that went in and took everything out of his facilities?
Well, I mean, that's why he's so rich then.
And that's why everybody thinks Barron Trump. It's a conspiracy that thinks Barron Trump's a time traveler because the Trump family. No, that actually isn't a conspiracy. That really did happen. Fred Trump actually did take all of Tesla's shit out of his facilities. But
was he the
landlord? If you want to just change your opinion. It was in New York.
He was a landlord.
It was in New York because the reason they went to the reason he got in trouble is because he built an earthquake machine and he almost took down the south side of New York.
Where did we get all this? Like, where did this come from? Never heard of
YouTube. Listen,
YouTube rabbit hole.
No. This is 1995, like 1980s nerd me. Like, reading all of Tesla's books and then going and reading the newspaper articles, and like, now you can Google the shit. But I'm just telling you, like I'll just go with what your boy Einstein said. Who's the smartest? You're the smartest person on the planet. He said, not even close. And the key to Tesla.
I need that time machine, though. I need that time machine.
Yeah, that's true.
I need that time machine. But folks, we appreciate you guys. Ben, please let the folks know where they can find you, and then we'll make our way around, and then we'll close this one out.
Hey, you guys can find me on YouTube. Very small but growing, aggressive channel now. I'm trying to get in like these guys a little bit. Appreciate that. So you can try me there. Find me on Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, Facebook, all over the place. I've got link in my bio there on pretty much every place in YouTube. But from there, you can find my coaching membership, find my website, benpappas.com, and all that stuff. And I'd love to see you guys anytime. Reach out, and I'd love to see you jump in the coaching membership as well too. But please go ahead and head over to my YouTube. It's definitely different than the War Room, but there's a lot of the good stuff that I talk about is on there because that's just the stuff that I'm into, So positive support, personal growth, and leadership, and all those things. So make you better and help you make a breakthrough.
Nate?
That's my thing.
Valhalla VFT, Instagram, YouTube. That's it.
Easy.
That's all I do.
And you got a live coming up here pretty soon, right, Nate? At 8? Is it at 8?
Yeah. 10 minutes. Head over to my live.
You find me at Jake's Wig over on YouTube. That's really the main one. We're getting ready to drop the Patreon probably end of next week. You'll find Game School over there, West Coast Viking Lifestyle. You'll also find we're going to build a service academy, Discord in there. We got a bunch of stuff coming, man. Bunch of big stuff. I got merch now, so
nice.
If you just look in the comments, I'm dropping merch. I got the shower right now. The grit don't wash off, okay? Like little dude in the shower getting hazed. But yeah, my dude over at Triple Nickel. So we rolling some merch out.
Dude in the shower getting hazed. Okay, sorry about that, Jake.
Hey, bro, that's Navy SEAL shit, bro. That's Navy SEAL shit. He in the decon shower, butt naked, getting his haze on. Hey, I want to just tell everybody, I'm going to send Ben Pappas a plug because I know Ben Pappas is kind of the conservative dude on this channel. But I'm telling you, I went to Ben maybe 8 months ago for some massive mentorship on raising boys and just phenomenal advice, man. I love this dude. I've known him for 35 years now. And, go over there.
What the fuck, dude?
I appreciate it.
How old are you two?
Jesus.
Yeah. Ben's like fucking 30. I'm 53. You know, I met him when he was little and shit. So
I appreciate you, Jake. Thank you. Likewise,
well, we
man.
appreciate you guys tuning in and spending your evening with us, guys. Again, make sure you go over there and check out Ben. Help us grow his YouTube channel to 1,000. We're shooting for 1,000 subscribers, Ben.
Amen.
1,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys. Nate, Jake, take care, man.
Thanks, fellas. We'll see you
later.
All right, later, dudes.
Bye.